The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I am Mon Gualvez. One study ranked Metro Manila among places with the worst public transportation and urban mobility systems. The capital region landed at the 58th spot out of 60 countries in the 2022 Urban Mobility Readiness Index by the think tank Oliver Wyman Forum and the University of California, Berkeley. Metro Manila also ranked 48 in terms of sustainable mobility and 56th in public transit. The rankings were based on factors like commute speed, affordability, and waiting time. Philippines was the only country in Asia Pacific to be in the bottom 10 group of the study. Caritas Manila says the revamp within Caritas Internationalis is a positive challenge for the organization. JC Cosico with the story.
Caritas Manila said they are not directly affected by the change of leadership in Caritas Internationalis. According to Caritas Manila Executive Director Anton Pascual, their relief and social services will continue.
Hindi kami apektado negatively, in the sense of Caritas Manila kasi gets our funding locally. Okay, now in terms of sustainability, we get our funding locally.
This comes after Pope Francis appointed a temporary administrator to lead CI, replacing Cardinal Luis Tagle, who served as president. In his decree, Pope Francis explained that this aims to improve the humanitarian services for the poor and needy. Pascual said this is a good challenge for them.
Nasa forefront ng isa at yung pagmamalasakit sa nangangailangan. Kaya't we look at it as a positive challenge for all the Caritas network worldwide to follow the continuing reform of Pope Francis to make our humanitarian organizations more effective. We are not a perfect organization. The Catholic Church is not a perfect organization. We always have room for improvement.
Despite being replaced as head of the charity network, Cardinal Tagle will assess the new administration ahead of the organization's election on May 2023. Pascual is confident the leadership change will not affect the relationship between Cardinal Tagle and Pope Francis.
I think Cardinal Chito was handpicked by Pope Francis because of his competence, expertise, and his representing this side of the globe, in terms of the propagation of the faith, and I don't think that is affected negatively. I think what's happening in the Caritas Internationalis is just part of the continuing reform of Pope Francis to improve our delivery of humanitarian services with regards to the poor globally.
For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I am Mon Gualvez. The World Bank reports that income inequality in the Philippines is one of the highest in East Asia. Camille Samonte with the story.
The Philippines ranks 15 out of 63 countries in terms income inequality according to the World Bank. The multilateral lender reports that only the top 1% of the Philippine earners captured 17% of the total national income. 14% of the income is meanwhile being shared by the bottom 50%. The World Bank attributed the inequality to unequal opportunities, slow access to tertiary education among low-income households, inequality in returns to college education, and social norms putting the heavier burden of childcare on women. In a statement, the World Bank said that the Philippines was still able to alleviate poverty from 49.2% in 1985 to 16.7% in 2018. The problem is inequality continues to persist. Despite this, the Philippine government is confident that it can alleviate the growing income inequality in the country. In a palace briefing, NEDA Chief Arsenio Balisacan said the 8-point socio-economic agenda as well as the upcoming Philippine Development Plan for 2023 to 2028 are designed to address poverty and income inequality in the country.
The 8-point socioeconomic agenda and the upcoming Philippine Development Plan, PDP 2023-2028, is intended to address the issues like that, and that is to accelerate poverty reduction while ensuring that the rapid growth that the plan envisages for the medium term will also be very inclusive. Economic opportunities will not only for the upper income groups, but even more importantly for the lower and middle income groups. Inequality will be reduced.
Balisacan added that it will take everyone from government agencies to members of the private sector and civil society to their share in shaping policies and contributing actions to improve the lives of Filipinos. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
Meanwhile, one economist says the country should focus on agriculture to close the wealth gap. Speaking to the chief's economist, Ronilo Balbiran noted that most sectors have since bounced back except for agriculture. He also added that the economy should grow at a pace of 8 to 10% for 10 consecutive years to close the wealth gap. The Philippine economy grew by 7.6% in the third quarter on the back of higher consumer spending.
Agriculture employs almost a third of our labor force, and more than half of our poverty is in agriculture. Kung may pipiliin tayong sektor talaga na pagtutulong-tulungan natin na talagang immediate yung impact sa inequality and poverty situation, it's the agriculture, and its immediate effect and linkage to other industries.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for the free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I am Mon Gualvez. We are One News.